Yo, what's get up? This is Max from Real Social Dynamics, and in this video, we'll be teaching you how to pick up shy girls. Right off the bat, no, this is not gonna be some, quick fix, dumbass bullshit video written by a schmuck from some mainstream magazine who's never actually gone out. He's gonna tell you, just be nice and just be confident, No, you know this. This is not the kind of stuff we're teaching on this channel. And this channel here, we're gonna teach you the dirty, dirty truth. This stuff is written by someone, me, who's actually been going out since 2010, teaching this. I've been on several world tours. I've taught tens of thousands of men in person, hundreds of thousands of men online. I'm not gonna sweet talk something. I'm just going to give you the truth so you can go out in the real world and actually apply this stuff, okay? So if you like the truth, hey, I do dig knowing the truth, then please do consider hitting that subscribe button right underneath this video. Next to that is a little bell symbol. That way you always get notified if you click that bell symbol every time I'm dropping a new true video for you, all right? Very cool. Anyways, let's crack right into it. What I'm going to teach you in this video is number one, I'll teach you the reality of a shy girl. I'm gonna teach you everything you need to know in order to understand shy girls. Number two, I'm gonna tell you what not to do. Guess what? This is what most guys do, what you should not do, and then I will tell you what actually to do. And we're going to dive deep into this. This is not some short, quick fix video. Anyways, understanding shy girls. Number one, a shy girl hates the fact that she's shy. You will never experience a shy girl that's like, I'm really shy and I really like it. It makes me really go through this world with ease, my own shyness. No, they hate the fact that they're shy. They hate the fact that they're going to social gatherings and they feel introverted and everybody's having fun and they feel like they're not part of it. They hate the fact that people come up to them, they want to talk to them, but then they're so shy and then the people just kind of go away disgusted and or bored. They hate that fact. Number two, the way they're being brought up is with a lot of confrontation and no empathy. All right? What confrontation do shy people, shy girls, shy people in general experience? Well, hey, you're really shy. Get a little bit out of your shell. Hey, Jenny, why are you not talking at the family gathering? Why are you not talking to other people? Why are you just sitting there in your little fucking chair not talking to people? This comes across as arrogant, don't you know? So there's all this confrontation that shy people experience on a daily basis. There's no empathy. There's no like, hey, look, I understand that, this is a little overwhelming, there's a lot of people, but you know what? It's not a big deal. It's cool. You're cool the way you are. People don't get taught that. Especially hot girls don't get taught that. And that's very, very bad. And on top of that, there's this thing called being approached anxiety. I'm gonna go a little bit deeper on that later on. Look, so many girls, they're just generally in their head anyway when they're shy. Now, if you, as a guy, come up to them and you talk to them and you're holding eye contact and you seem, hopefully somewhat confident, she gets even more in her head. She's like, this guy's actually really cool. Don't fuck this up, Jenny. Don't fuck this up. Oh, he said something. He asked you something. Just don't say anything because otherwise you're gonna fuck it up. So you think you're having a bad day with approach anxiety. Guess what? Being approached anxiety is a real thing, and it shoves many girls in their head even more on top of being shy. So this is kind of the reality that a shy girl has to walk around on a day-to-day basis, which brings us to the next big point here. What not to do. Avoid these mistakes, please. Number one, seeing their shyness as a lack of interest. This is literally the number one mistake I see, 99% of guys making. They walk up to the girl, they try to talk to the girl is a little shy, doesn't give them a lot to work with, doesn't say a lot back, doesn't laugh at your dumb jokes, right? And then you're like, well, she probably isn't into me. And then you exit the interaction. You leave her. And many times the girl actually thinks like, oh, I really hope this guy stays with me a little longer so I can feel comfortable. But no, you're not giving yourself the chance already. You're leaving right away, which is a very bad thing. And you're depriving yourself of many opportunities that would in fact be an opportunity. What you got to realize here as a side note is women showing interest is way more subtle than you probably imagine as a guy. As a guy, like, how do I know if a girl is interested? She probably says, hey, I'm interested in you, or like, you're really great. That's how we think a girl shows interest. No, a girl doesn't show interest that overtly. She shows it very covertly, very hidden. So many times we don't see any sign, and we interpret that as, well, she probably isn't interested, which is a very bad thing. In fact, in my mentoring program, sometimes I get guys that just generally like shy girls. And then they always say, I can never get a shy girl because I always leave. And one of the rules I always give them when I'm on Skype calls with them, when I'm coaching them, I say, yo, you're not allowed to leave the interaction unless she literally asks you to leave or unless she physically walks away. And just by giving that rule, we'll talk more about this later, many guys end up, actually getting to know these shy girls, meeting them, going on dates with them, having sex with them, getting in a relationship with them. It's crazy. Just this one rule, because again, it teaches you that just because she's shy doesn't mean she's not interested. On top of that, I feel like we men tend to overestimate hot girls. They do have a lot of abundance, they do have a lot of options, but at the same time, they kind of have low standards. Why do they have low standards? Because their standards are, just be a fucking normal guy, please. Just don't be creepy, don't be drunk, don't be uncalibrated, don't grope me, don't be a beta cuck. This is really simple. So if you're like a simple guy, you don't need to be super tall, good looking, rich, you don't need to do that. As long as you know social dynamics, you're good enough for a girl. And then we walk up to a girl, she's a little shy, and we're like, again, like, oh, I'm probably just not good enough for her. That's why she's not replying to me back. Oh my God. Whereas in reality, you would have been perfectly good enough for her. But again, she was just shy. And yeah, you messed up your opportunity here. The second biggest mistake I see most guys making is they're walking around on eggshells, basically saying, oh, I see the girl is super shy, so let me be super extra nice and really bore the shit out of her by being super extra nice and playing it really, really safe. This is the lower end extreme of being too nice and too boring for the girl. Okay? Now what happens is, you're not funny, you're not teasing her, you're not giving her any opportunity to let loose, you're not giving her any opportunity to experience the ice broken. So you're boring the shit out of her. On top of that, you're having filters in your brain. You're like, oh, I can't talk about this. This is also a little too extreme. Let me just be really nice and really just play it safe. And by doing that, you're increasing the pressure on you. And by the law of state transference, which we're going to talk about later, you also kind of put the pressure on her. Also, non es bueno. Don't walk on eggshells. The other extreme of that is the guy who kind of confronts her. Oh, I see. You're a little shy, huh? Don't be shy. Oh, really? Don't be shy. Great. Thank you for that great advice. Don't be shy. All my shyness is magically gone. Thank you so much, man. I really feel good now. Of course, motherfucker. Don't oh, you're very shy. Guess what? She knows that. Guess what? She hates it already. All you're doing is putting even more pressure on her by telling her, oh, you're a little shy, huh? Jesus Christ. Getting a little top of myself here. But you get it. Okay, don't do these mistakes. And last but not least, biggest mistake is they kind of think, oh, just because she's shy, she's not into flirting, she's not into, being hit on, she's not into sex for that matter, which is a big mistake as well. In German, we have that saying, stille Wasser sind tief. It kind of means like quiet waters are deep. Which basically means many girls that are very shy in the first moments, once they open up, they can be extremely sexual, they can enjoy sex. In fact, they can be quite crazy in bed. So again, don't interpret her shyness as a lack of interest, and also don't interpret it as lack of sexuality. These girls are just as sexual as any other girl. So these are the biggest mistakes you need to avoid. Now let's crack into the things that you need to do in order to get with the shy girls. Okay, here is what to do with shy girls. And I kind of want to illustrate that with an example. This girl I met years ago, her name was Anna. As it turned out later on, that was a fake name she gave me. She was literally the very first shy girl I ever hooked up with. It was on a shopping street in Vienna. She was walking on the street. I was with a friend and I saw her. She was gorgeous, beautiful body, beautiful eyes, nice long hair. And I wanted to talk to her. So I went over, said hi, and I immediately noticed she's incredibly shy. She didn't give me much to work with. She didn't, she gave me these one sentence replies. She didn't laugh at my dumb jokes. And then again, as later turned out, she gave me a fake name as well. But I felt this need that I would, exit the interaction. She's not into you, Max. Just keep doing your thing. But then at the same time, I felt like, what? There must be something that I'm not getting. How about as an experiment, I'm just going to stay with her and keep talking to her until she either asks me to leave or until she walks away herself, and then we would kind of see what happens. And she never told me to walk away. She never left herself. She was just standing there, just kind of letting me do my thing. And again, for me, it was just an experiment. So how far can this go? And we exchanged numbers, and I'm like, I'm going to message her. She's probably not going to message back. But she did, and she always just, gave me this one reply text back. And I'm like, I'll go invite her for a date. Let's see what happens. She shows up to the date, you know, I'll ask her to do this. I'll do that with her. Oh, well, I guess I'll take her home. We go home and we have crazy sex. And I'm like, how did this even happen? She was not into me, was she? And that is where I realized the following big truth. Write this down. Tattoo this shit on your forehead. The biggest indicator of interest a girl can ever give you is she's still there. She doesn't need to laugh at your jokes. She doesn't need to ask you stuff back. She doesn't need to be overall physical with you. All she has to do is being still there. This is a free world. She can walk away. She can tell you to fuck off. You probably had that plenty of times, a girl telling you to fuck off. But if she doesn't, it means she's still into you. This is so freaking key. Which kind of connects to the second point, and that is let time play in your favor. Look, many girls want you to stay with them. Many girls want you to keep talking. Many girls want you to, you know, take over the interaction and not be butthurt and just leave. In fact, the longer you stay with her, the more time you give her to open herself up, the more time you give her to get used to you, the more time you give her to, you know, experience when the ice is broken. Time is one of your biggest wingmen if you want. The more time you spend with her, the higher your chances of overall getting with her. Okay, this is really key. And you gotta understand too that, again, I mentioned earlier, girls hate themselves for being shy. By you sticking with them, you kind of give them a feeling like, hey, it's okay. If you're shy, it's okay. Don't worry, I'm here. I'm still gonna shoot the shit. I'm still gonna have a good time, okay? How do I be patient while propelling myself into the upward spiral? How to pull in high school? When you were a teen in high school, do you remember how your game was? How many friends do I need to keep forever in life? What the fuck are these questions? I have my girlfriend, we are exclusive, but I still want to game. Any tips? Do we live in a simulation? I like that. Do we live in a simulation? I like that guy. Now, the question that presents itself here is, well, but how do I actually stay with her? If she doesn't give me anything to work with, if she barely replies to anything, what exactly can I do to take this interaction further? The answer is very simple. Statement of empathy plus proper verbal game. Those 2 points. What is a statement of empathy? Statement of empathy is something like, look, I know this is kind of weird. I've approached you in the middle of the XYZ, of the bar, of the mall, of whatever it is. I know this is kind of weird. Or shit like, oh, I know stuff like this can be a little overwhelming. Blah, 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 blah. Understanding, no big deal. Okay, a statement of empathy, again, shows her that you, on one hand, understand her, but on the other hand, it's no big deal. Remember what we said earlier, too many guys walk around on eggshells, okay? They kind of understand her, like, oh my God, I can't do that. But they miss the point of also communicating that it's no big deal. So you gotta do both. The statement of empathy that you're giving her is, I understand it, and it's no big deal, okay? So again, if you say shit like, oh, I know this is kind of overwhelming, I'm just walking up to you and just kind of talk to you. So anyways, blah, 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 and then you keep chattering in a lighthearted manner, and you keep displaying self-amusement, that then communicates to her, okay, you understand the situation, and it is no big deal. Guess what? If it's no big deal for you, it's not gonna be a big deal for her either. Law of state transference. We're going to get into that later. Now let's talk about proper verbal game, because you gotta understand that if she doesn't give you anything back, or not a lot, it's going to be 90% you talking, and that is totally fine. Remember, all you want to do is spend more time with her so she can open up. Okay, so it doesn't really matter the content, what you're saying. It doesn't need to be interesting for her. All that matters is that you keep talking about something that you feel interested to buy, whatever. You get it, right? So for example, talk about something you're passionate about. And it doesn't matter if this is not traditionally cool. It doesn't matter if you're passionate about anime or chess. As long as you're passionate about it, it keeps the conversation going. It gives her the time that she needs to let loose. And it also makes you passionate about something, right? Law of state transference. You're passionate about it, she will feel that passion. You're not bored about it, she will feel that, okay? You need to be able to self-amuse yourself as well. Which means if you're a guy who only talks to the girl to get good reactions from her, you're gonna have a bad time. If you're a guy who only talks to the girl to feel validated because she's asking you stuff back, you're gonna have a bad time. You need to be a guy who loves hearing himself talk. You need to be a guy who laughs at his own jokes. If you're giving yourself a good time as you're talking to the girl, she will be able to let loose as well. Because again, like you're laughing about your own fucking jokes. She's like, oh, this guy's having a good time. I don't feel pressure. I can let loose. I can let this guy continue rambling until I'm comfortable enough to talk back. Okay, it sounds almost a little bit like talking to a wall, but then again, that's a good thing, because on this, as a side note here, who are usually the kind of guys who keep talking? Who are usually the kind of guys who are so into themselves that they love talking, they love hearing themselves talk? Well, it's usually degenerate narcissists. So is that really what you want this world to go down in? Like a bunch of degenerate narcissists getting to know all the hot girls because they're the only ones who are narcissistic and degenerate enough so girls would actually end up liking them? No, in comes you, a regular guy who's probably has good intentions. Now you know, oh, if I just keep talking and if I just laugh at my own fucking jokes, I can get with a shy girl, right? That's good, because there's a lot of degenerate narcissists out there that are fucking idiots that would treat girls like shit. Not you. Okay, so you're actually doing the world a little favor here. And then again, I mentioned this earlier, law of state transference. If you're quote unquote gaming yourself, you can give the girl the opportunity to feel that, and then she can let loose as well. Also, when it comes to verbal game, is do tease her, do make fun of her, don't take her too seriously. She's still a girl, she might be shy, but she's still responding well to guys making a little bit of fun of her, you know, just not taking her too seriously. She will still respond well to that, which is again, you showing her that you're not walking around on eggshells just because she's shy. On a side note though, don't tease her about her shyness. We talked about this before. It will come across as a little butthurt and it will put more pressure on her. But other than that, generally, definitely do tease her. And the last point that I want to encourage you to do here is lead and calibrate in that order. Lead first, then calibrate. Look, for us men, we many times are a little insecure about, you know, does she really like us, etc. So we would wait for overly obvious signs that she's now ready to be invited to the date, she's now ready to be invited home, she's now ready for the kiss and stuff like that. But with shy girls, you're gonna wait a very, very, very long time. So I'd encourage you to, you know, do invite her out for a date without necessarily knowing for sure if she's gonna say yes. I'd encourage you to do go for the kiss, even though you're not sure if she's gonna, you know, kiss you back. Do go for that and then calibrate. It's much better for you to go for the kiss and then, you know, she rejects you, giving you the cheek, than never going for the kiss in the first place. And again, many times, every single cell in your body is gonna tell you she's not into you, she probably doesn't want to be kissed, and then you do kiss her and all of a sudden she's reciprocating it and she's totally into you. This will happen so many times with shy girls. I'm not saying, you know, go for the kiss even though she says no. I'm not saying, you know, drag her home or stuff like that against her will. Don't do that. Calibrate. That's why I'm saying lead first, then calibrate. Do invite her for the date. Do say, hey, you know, let's go home, watch a movie together. I'll show you the view, stuff like that. And then calibrate after the fact. You can see if she's uncomfortable with that, then don't do it. Give her more time and ask her later. If she is comfortable with that, she's gonna come with you and you're like, holy shit, I'm glad I did it, otherwise I would have never done it. If I had waited for her to give me obvious signs, I would have waited a very, very long time. So again, lead first, then calibrate. Don't wait for obvious signs, you're not gonna get them. If she's not cool with that, accept that, give her more time, and try again later. Very simple. Now, if you're following these steps that I've told you here in this video, you're actually going to end up with a hugely wider range of potential sexual partners. Why? Whereas in the beginning, you've only been, you know, getting with the girls that are super obviously into you. You know, the girls that are saying, oh, I like you, oh, you're funny, that are laughing at your jokes, that are asking you stuff back. You're now going to be able to get with these girls as well as with the girls that seem to be not into you. Maybe also the girls that are a little bitchy at you. Maybe the girls that are a little shy, that don't give you anything to work with. All of a sudden, you open yourself up to these girls as well. So you end up with a hugely wider pool of potential partners, which is very, very great. What happens with the girls that are super obviously into you, with the talkative girls that you have a great 50-50 back and forth with, those girls give you something that we call situational confidence, right? They make you feel good temporarily, which gives you enough confidence to be like, okay, let's go for the kiss. Actually, let's go home. Let's do XYZ. Whereas the shy girls, With those girls, you're going to be reliant on true inner self-confidence, because she's not going to give you situational confidence. You have to derive that confidence from within, where you're saying, you know what, I'm going to assume she's into me, even though there's no sign. I'm going to assume she wants me to talk to her, even though she's not talking a lot back. I'm going to assume all these things. And this is where really, truly amazing game or confidence comes from. Imagine you're walking down the street and you know that, yo, most of these girls are going to have a good time with me. Surely not every girl. You can't be that good. Nobody is. And if you are, let me know. But most of these girls are going to be into me. Most of the girls that I talk to can have a good time. Most of those girls, even though they're overtly not showing it, they are covertly, in fact, into me. If you really, really come down to this belief, you're going to have a very, very good time. And this is something that we actually talk about in the RSD Max mentoring program. We have clients all over the world. We teach these clients over 8 full weeks in person. Those guys have 24/7 support by me and my coaches. And we're actually helping them finding their own true inner self-confidence so they can get with most of the girls that they actually talk to. Over the short amount that this program has been existing, it has become the best review program I've ever created, which, leaves me very, very humble. If you want to get on board with the RSD Max mentoring program, here's what you do. There's a link somewhere in the description box below, or it's appearing somewhere right now. You click that, it leads you to an application page. You fill out that application, takes you 1 minute maximum, just a little bit of basic info about yourself. And what you then get is a free consulting call. This call is entirely for free. You're going to jump on the call with Team RSD Max. We're going to help you out entirely for free. We're going to develop a battle plan that is customized to your situation, and then going to tell you exactly what you need to do. This is entirely for free. If you then say, hey, I want to work with you guys over a longer period of time, you can, in fact, join the RSD Max mentoring program, but at the very least, you can get a free consulting call. This is my thank you to you, the viewer. This is my thank you that after all these years, I'm still able to do this as my life's purpose. I'm still able to give you free content here. I'm still able to coach people in a mentoring program or wherever. Every single freaking comment, every like, every DM, every inspirational email that you're sending us really, really makes our day. And there's no freaking day that passes without me being extremely grateful to be in this position. So thank you very much. If you're ready to crush it, fill out that application. Let's go jump on a call together. We'll help you out. If you're ready to really, really crush it, you might get to join the mentoring program as well. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. This is how to pick up shy girls. GG.